Hello and welcome back into Tony Talks Trash about music and other matters here, I guess. I'm going to give you guys in this, you're not going to find a lot of reviews where I'm going to be doing something new or right off the bat because to me, a lot of times I find that, especially with artists that I don't like, I don't get the full, I guess maybe I'm a little slower than other people, but I don't get the full extent of the work and the art until I listen to it a few times and have a little bit of time with it. And so to that end, I would like today to present, and it's not that I don't like it. I don't not that I don't like the artist. It's not that this, but I just think that this record was the reason I'm doing this video was I feel like this record was inordinately praised, and I think it was praised beyond the level that it should be. And I'm talking about One Hand Clapping, the wonderful thing from Wings and Paul McCartney early on. Now everybody knows this was recorded in Abbey Road Studio, 1974. Beautiful package in here. They even have a green. They even have the green on the inner sleeve here that you get. Look at these beautiful wings. I would have liked it better if they're polyline, but nevertheless. And then you get this thing about one hand clapping. This little booklet here that's kind of interesting. The way it's all folded up. I mean, it does fold out into a larger sort of a poster thing, but it goes through the band. Paul, Linda, Denny, Jimmy McCullough, Jeff Britton. And it's interesting that you've got a lot of early stuff. I mean, you've got like early stuff like versions of Jet. Soiley's okay. I love Sea Mood. But I'll tell you the truth. My problem with this record is that there's too much of that Paul at the piano, Paul at the piano bar playing the rolling left hand. It's all over the place. I mean, there's as this is a double record, but so much of this is a reduced package. You don't get the full breadth of the band on all these songs. There's a lot of songs where somebody's just playing, like Paul doing Long and Winding Road and Lady Madonna. It's just him. I mean, he's doing that, and it's nice to hear that. But there's all kinds of stuff like this on this record. You get Go Now, Live and Let Die is really fantastic. I mean, Band on the Run's nice, but Babyface. I just think this record could have been a lot better if it was a single, was called down to a single thing and really kept to the band stuff. And everybody wants to hear the Paul things. And, do we really need another version of Blue Moon of Kentucky? I just, some of those stuff, I know you like those songs, but there's so many of those and so many of those oldies compilations. I don't know. Is there another version of that? Somebody can tell me in the comments. I like it. Don't get me wrong. And I think it's a great snapshot. You get a Little Woman Love, like off of, but it's still got the same boogie woogie piano thing going on. I liked all those early singles. Give Ireland Back to the Irish. Mary Had a Little Lamb. That period of time, I guess you're talking about, maybe prior to Red Rose Speedway, somewhere around, or in the early Wings, Wildlife to that. There were a bunch of singles that were out. Of course, I'm All Looking Tired was a big hit. Like it was a single only thing. And I'm surprised that that's not on here. Maybe it was a little bit early, but they do 1985 here. Live and Let Die is good. Band on the Runs. I'll Give You a Ring. All of You, not too much. Bluebird's really, really mellow too. Maybe I'm Amazed and My Love. I just think there's a little bit too much balladry on this for my liking. I mean, I would have rather, to me, I've heard this, and there were some reviews of this have said, like, this is the greatest thing that's ever, his greatest live work and all this stuff. There's a lot of banter and a lot of little talking about. Man, do you forget about Wings Over America? I mean, I know Wings Over America is, was super platinum, and it may not be cool, to think about it now, but the impact of it was tremendous. I mean, you had all those great heartfelt versions and going out. I just think it's a better, I enjoy it musically better than this. This is a little bit limited, a little bit too much Paul piano for me, a little bit too much balladry for my own taste. But it's certainly a good recording. It's certainly well done. It certainly merits coming out. And I think the way that they've kind of handled it, the MPL people, I guess it's MPLs. It's still the same because he still have the same label thing going on. But, I think the way they've handled it kind of low key was that I think the hype's really come from other people. And I've seen a lot of other people on the YouTube channels, and maybe they got a comp of it or however it worked. I bought mine. I don't get comps. I don't want any comps. So I'm saying it out loud. You're talking to a guy here that used to manage a store in Georgetown. I used to get whatever I wanted. I could get when I was, when I had my store there, it was a prominent store. We had the Warner Brothers, it's Columbia people, and that was back in the days of that stuff. I guess they called it payola for the singles things. It wasn't for us. Everybody just wanted the front windows and wanted different displays and wanted us to do a little thing for them. But they wanted us to be excited about their bands. And at that time, a label like Warner Brothers, was on fire with all the good stuff that they had. The Minneapolis stuff, Replacements, Husker Du, and Mudhoney came on later. They just were great in the Sire stuff. I mean, it was just fantastic. And then CBS was the other behemoth. And, Polygram and those other things in Capitol kind of struggled. But nevertheless, I see it happening all the time. And, it's why you should question. And it's and I'm not trying to be Mr. Pure or Mr. whatever. You trust in the guys that you trust in. They're going to tell you straight up, and they're not going to tell you this record's great because they got it for free. To me, you know how I feel about this remastering stuff. I'm not buying it. Being a student of the science of recording music and being around music and tape and mediums for this, some people don't consider re-equalization a change. I certainly do. I mean, I'm mixing my record right now, and I'm going through remarkable changes just by dropping things down and EQing things a certain way makes a huge difference. And so I like the originals. I'm just an original person. I'm not, my son's like original and has to be the country of origin too. I'm not a little bit that far, but I like. I want the original. I want the artist's intention when it comes out. I don't want the artist's intention and the benefit of years and the benefit of the advance of technology or the benefit of Steven Wilson or the benefit of that. I like original stuff. And that's good about this. This is something that has not been out yet. So we have nothing to go from here. But again, I see one of the other rounds of this Tales from Topographic Ocean, this new version or whatever it is being compared against the old one. And I'm not going to wander into that, but I might wander into Yes at some point here before long. But anyway, this is long enough. This is about Paul McCartney, one hand clapping. What am I going to say? 1 to 5 stars, 3.5. I mean, I just think it was overhyped, like it was the greatest thing ever. And there's just a little bit too much balladry, a little bit too much, off the cuff and goofing off really for me to consider it to be that high. And Paul's fantastic. I love Paul. I'm a huge Paul fan. And one day I'll feel maybe qualified enough to do his ranking, but I don't. There's some of the later records I'm saying that I don't. I know them up to a period, and in a period of time I kind of lost track for a little bit of time. So I need to get caught up with some of that stuff before I will feel that way. I'm trying to, but got a lot of other stuff to go through also. Anyway, thank you guys. Thank you always for tuning in, and we appreciate you liking the video and subscribing. Please leave your comments below. Again, I know a lot of people have, feelings about this record. I love the lineup. I like what it is, but you could tell it was a situation where they were kind of off the cuff, doing some things off the cuff and things. And to me, I'm not that, I was a little bit let down given how great all the reviews were. Should you get it? Yeah, I think if you got all the rest of Paul's stuff, you should get it because it's a nice document, a well-recorded document from that time. But once again, how different is it from the RSD stuff where they just pull out the King Biscuit Flower Hour or whatever they have for the band and then put that out? To me, that's, I don't know. I've got plenty of those CDs, and it's really disappointing when they do that. But that's not what happened here. Paul has his own way of doing it on a different level. Stones have their way of doing it. Everybody does it differently. Paul puts out these deluxe versions, and things come later. But anyway, thank you guys for tuning in here to this, and we'll be back at you soon. Thanks.